10 seconds
a little
remaining.
miffed.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I think what would mainly happen is the people that are here right now would be like,
5
oh, they're just
seconds
doing
remaining.
like trying this out. The people that show up after this point, why is it in black and white?
Yeah, exactly.
And then 10 minutes later, not even 10 minutes, like 30 seconds later, wait, why is it in black and white?
Yeah,
And that's going to be the entire concept of the conversation of the game.
I like what OG did. I'm just throwing that out there. The Doom ban. The first two heroes taken out of the game, one by each, is the Wisp Doom. And I would have to agree, I don't think we'll see those heroes like ever again. Doom just... every time I've seen Doom played, the way it is played well, right? You get a Satyr ASAP in the laning phase.
Tanky items.
Yep, you get a Wolf or a Centaur throughout the mid game, and you literally just buy like drums, Blink, Crimson or Pipe, whatever you want. Shiva's after, BKB if you need it.
And counted by one of those heroes, it seems to work. Like, it's all good with that hero.
He just does too much without any offensive items, other than maybe what enable him to Doom. And then the games where all he has to do is build items to Doom somebody, then you win the game because you Doom somebody.
So is it really the hero or is it the items? Because like last patch it was Underlord, right? And there it was he did too much previously because he gives you Roche. He pushes out waves. Now it's Doom. He can take one hero out of the fight. Doesn't do Roche as well, but he's also that damage.
Underlord did all those things in the team fights that Doom does, but I think the difference is now that the priority of having a hero that says
10 seconds
once I hit
remaining.
level 6, you're not walking into my lane, is so valuable with the way that like
5
bounty runes
seconds
work
remaining.
now, and just in general the meta. You want that, like most teams want that first 10 to 12 minutes of wind up period where we're getting our first mid-tier item, or like Shadowblade on Slark, these type of things. And Doom just eliminates every carry's game at 6 minutes. Or 5 minutes.
Not just that, he doesn't even. I think it's even less about Doom, more the Infernal Blade spam.
Oh no,
Like,
for sure.
It just at level 7, you can just be in a lane and threaten the Doom.
Yeah.
And
no, that's what I'm saying. Is like in the
it's
past
just-
it wasn't enough. You actually had to Doom the person.
Yeah.
But now it's just like E. It's like you can't possibly trade with that unless you're killing him.
And going to this game, I love Disruptor Lycan into Night Stalker. OG banned it in the previous game, and I think that these are like, if you were to counter like Night Stalker as a first pick, these are the two heroes I think do that best. Disruptor is my favorite support against NS because you can queue for vision and then always set up Glimpse even throughout darkness. I
like that
and
one too.
Lycan, you're going to always have double howl bonus every time. It's just a great hero against Night Stalker.
Whoa, and one that I haven't
different.
seen in a long time, but I mean, it's an S4 hero.
It's really early, man.
Yeah, it
and
is.
that's not necessarily a great hero against Disruptor either.
Would this have been banned in the second phase?
No,
Like, that's the thing that I...
Is this a 5-position bad? Like, is that possible? I just don't feel like you can pick it this early and have it be a core,
10
because it's going to get lane countered by at least 2 heroes, or at least one, probably 2 heroes.
5 seconds
And there's so many left. Like, there isn't a single one banned. You have the Slarks, the Life Stealers, the PLs, the Abaddons. Like, okay, there's the Abaddon gone.
So,
I mean,
what about do you have to think about banning out heroes that also counter the Glimpse as well, or rather the Lasso as well, or do you just think about the lane counters?
that's what they're doing. They're trying to get both. Right. Abaddon's not only a lasso counter, but also a lane counter. So they're prioritizing the ones that do both. But that's what I mean with bad, is that's why we haven't seen much of it. I think Kyle thinks the same thing. Is there's just too many things that give it a hard game.
Yep.
And it doesn't give you enough to pay off for it.
Especially when, China's slowly proving, hey guys, all our offlaners play Lycan. I'm sure KP can if pressed to. So this Lycan's going to do its job no matter what. The bat doesn't ever stop the Lycan from doing its job, and I would argue that you don't. It just, again, go back to this point of like sustained damage throughout a fight. The bat's fine, but where are you going to find like that sustained damage and the ability to take objectives off of these kills? Because the 2 heroes OG have selected, you have a vision provider, a vision consumer, 0 tower pressure, really not much wave clear, because Bat, as a rule, doesn't really want to be on map that often. You want to play around your other cores that are on map and then find kills when people are forced to show.
So do you think you have to go for like a carry matchup here that does well against the Lycan, or are you thinking more one that's more focused on taking down like the buildings and then you deal with the Lycan with other heroes?
Yeah, you need wave clear, the thing. Like, you deal with the Lycan in some ways with Bat, but that's only if you're applying pressure off of those kills, and the pressure is actually what's going to lead to these kills in the first place. Like, you can't just not have wave clear against these sort of heroes.
10 seconds
when
remaining.
Disruptor is just too powerful as well. when he is able to play
5
aggressively,
seconds
when waves are
remaining.
pushed, he can hunt through the jungle, you know, find a cue, find a glimpse, and all of a sudden you're just picking somebody off. And it's just going to be all about like the tempo control, the map control. It just comes down to map control. Like
So
Dota
what wave
always
clear
has.
is there that like heroes that can independently function with Disruptor on the enemy team? That's something I'm kind of...
Sand King, I guess.
You could do it from the support, but I don't think they'll pick Sand King,
Can't
Night
pick
Stalker.
Okay.
Like, I mean, heroes that come to mind are usually bad against Lycan, because most of them are single target heroes like Jug and stuff that just get shredded, and you can't possibly pick them into Lycan.
Knowing OG, they're going to go for a Witch Doctor third. I think that it's just like their favorite hero in a lot of respects, and they
10
like it a lot
seconds remaining.
with Bat Rider as well. The user would possibly have been a Dazzle in the past, but I just don't
5
think that that's
seconds
realistic.
remaining.
And yeah, as far as newbie goes, you might want to take your support here. It depends on the direction you're going. You could theoretically pick like some sort of Oracle hero, but I don't like that as much. I think you might just want to take a core and just leave that 4 position open.
OG's
Do you like try and
turn
create
to
another
pick.
Naga?
person and talk about the stacks?
Naga.
They take the same thing.
It's like Naga or Sand King. You just pick something that synergizes with your disruptor, strong lanes, have a nice cheap little stun. Nothing wrong with it.
Third pick now for OG.
I'm curious to see where they plan to go with this Bat Rider, because somebody who's
10
tried
seconds
drafting
remaining.
a little bit myself, I just... Like Kyle said, they kind of just have holes in
5
their draft,
seconds
and it feels
remaining.
like you not only have to fill those holes, but you also have to kind of counter what they're dealing with on
Newbee's
newbie
turn to
side.
pick.
Winter
And
Wild.
that actually kind of does it.
That's great.
It gives you wave clear and it counters Lycan. I'm not saying it's the perfect pick, but
I like it. I like it a lot. You also have increased vision at night, so you have great synergy with your Night Stalker.
That's only during our queue, right? But still.
Yeah. You shove waves, right? And that would be the issue with a Witch Doctor.
10 seconds remaining.
And it also provides a lot more team fight. And in your words, yes,
5
it is like
seconds remaining.
that stat cancel for a Lycan. Like you trump Lycan now with this hero, and it makes newbie now. In order to win a fight, they need to think about not just how are we dealing with this Bat Rider and the vision advantage of OD, but how do we get on top of that Wyvern too?
I'm a little concerned for their lanes. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Because I feel like if newbie just picks lane counters to Bat Rider right now, and then another counter to whatever OG picks next, I feel like Wyvern's a hero that is still vulnerable to get ran over.
Turn to
They have
pick.
the last pick.
Yeah, there's the PL. I was going to say one of the 3. Like, I was thinking PL, Slark, or Nyx, but all the other ones looked a little awkward, so PL looks good to me.
It's a great PL game. It's a lot with the Lycan, right? So now you're gonna need more illusion clear on OG, like minion wave clear in general.
Gyrocopter still in the pool.
I don't like it against PL Lycan.
I
10
don't either,
seconds
but
remaining.
What else actually clears these?
Once again, your draft's missing
5
damage on
seconds
OG.
remaining.
You don't really have the ability to do sustained damage throughout a team fight. You got the lasso, you've got the Wyvern ulti, but you need something to just, I don't know, do more things.
I like Pucker Ember myself.
Is this Night Stalker
I like
core, you
Ember a
guys
lot.
think?
What's up?
Is this Night Stalker core you think is going to be the 4 Jarex Night Stalker?
That would leave Bat Rider to be a support if it is core, which honestly against the PL they might do.
I think you keep it core. You just make sure it's matched up against the Lycan.
I think Ember is really good here.
It might Sven. That's more of the typical OG style, I think.
Hero that's definitely been forgotten.
Yeah, and to your point, I prefer watching Fly play heroes such as Wyvern. I think that's when OG was at its best, and when Fly looked the best was when he was able to give himself these more like hard defensive 5s with real save and the ability to turn fights. His notable ones: Dazzle, Wyvern, Warlock, Oracle. Like that was his bread and butter when they were winning lands.
Newbee's turn to ban.
Ember Spirit.
There it is. Ember Spirit.
Yep.
And I think that addresses multiple issues. It addresses the PL problem, very good against PL, and it also addresses their wave clear problems. Now, the problem is they don't have objective taking.
Yep. But it gives them a win condition, even without the ability to take objectives, because theoretically they can defend theirs, stall the game. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where, like
10
a Battle Fury
seconds
Daedalus
remaining.
Ember, PL does nothing. All of a sudden, Lycan does nothing. And
5
it puts
seconds
the
remaining.
impetus on newbie now to address OG's lineup versus curate the best possible one for themselves. Because if you can't address this Ember, you're going to have a real difficulty in the game. And right now, I'm looking at an OD for newbie. I think that would be very scary for OG to deal with just because it's SCCC, and I think it's going to dumpster this Ember and kind of removes Wyvern's effectiveness as far as turning fights around.
Well, it also runs into this issue where it's going to be newbie last pick, so probably looking for a carry now, I'd assume. The ones that are objective takers, a little bit of extra night vision, maybe a Luna.
No, for newbie or for OG?
For OG.
For OG, I wouldn't mind a Luna, but I think that you can't deal with illusions. We've seen, I think in Thailand, like EG got run over by
10 seconds
what
remaining.
was the team that beat them in the lower bracket? King Gaming. They ran this PL lineup and
there's the OD ban.
Yeah.
He's calling it.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it. Like some ODs might lose to Ember, but not SCCC, and then Wyvern just kind of becomes a creep, even if you throw some people under.
What's left objective taking wise? What about,
I think they just go Sven. I don't like troll against PL. I think it's the PL. You kind of have the answers. Just get something that can deal structure damage.
You're too good at this, man. Too good
it's
at
great
this.
against the Lycan too. Why not?
Yeah, it's also OG.
Venom.
Choose your hero.
Oh. Wow.
No,
that to him.
it's a great pick in the sense, like, look at all this. So the KP Lycan as expected, but they have wards, illusions, and wolves. And on OG's lineup, you have absolutely nothing that deals with this. You have blink reliant carry in Sven and Bat, and you don't have the ability to actually like right click wards. I love this Veno pick, and had they taken more than 2 seconds to do it, I was too busy gloating over being once again correct, as BSJ was once again.
Yeah, as long as it's not a mechanics question, you got it lock down.
But yeah, I like that pick a lot, and unless this Seb Ember Spirit has the game of his life, I feel like NEWBEE just take this.
Well, we know what he needs to do. We know what they need to make it happen. It's going to be a hard one. And to be honest, the last time that we've seen drafts that are hard to execute with very little room for escape, it came up with a NEWBEE win. So
I don't mean to be, I don't want to say just too black and white, but in this meta, I know we've been talking about each team wants to establish their own identity, but to be perfectly honest, if your identity of heroes suck, I don't really like your drafts, and I feel like they're going to win because I'm saying this, but I think Sven is just absolutely terrible in this meta right now. Like, he just, the pace of the hero and the way like most carries
so many items.
Yeah, and most carries are independent past like level 6 or 7-ish.
Yep.
And Sven is the complete opposite. He actually requires his team to make space for him or give him attention in order for him to get the farm he needs. And I just feel like not only that, but if you've played Sven to what he's doing, that is not an enjoyable matchup. The only hero really that creates pushing that you can't deal with cleave. The wards do not get hit by cleave, and that is super annoying because Sven's like kind of bread and butter is that he shoves lanes very quickly with cleave, and that just doesn't work anymore against a Venomancer.
No, I agree, and you also can't be given like a lane. Even if you try lane, give Sven a huge lead, he's not able to just 1v1 crush like a lot of others are. Yeah. He's very ult dependent in later mid-game team fights and doing objectives. He has to ult to kill Roche, and then he doesn't have it for the ensuing fight afterwards. And as you say, he needs so many items. He needs like Mask, Echo, Blink, and then it's like, okay, I have a timing, but that timing only lasts like 25 seconds.
So they do smoke up, but Faith pops it from too far away, it looks like. And they might be aggro tri-laning, it appears, and trying to dodge the PL matchup for the Bat Rider, but it looks like NEWBEE's going to be onto this and swap lanes.
They already got that ward down preemptively, so they're going to know what's up.
OG might swap too again, depending. Could be the double bluff if they wanted to. We'll see if they decide to go for
I like how they're just putting Lycan mid and then trying to swap the PL in the Veno, because Lycan will just get what he gets mid, and then like trying to swap the other two heroes I think is better.
I really like it as well.
As far as a mid build though.
No, I'm glad they did this actually, because KP Veno makes a lot more sense to make that your 3, because his job is just, he's more of an anti-carry this game, and you don't want him ever laning against an Ember Spirit, because you're just kind of giving Ember a game. In this case, I think Lycan has like 20 damage advantage, and even if they put the bat mid, as it looks like they're going to do, you don't get crushed as long as you play it smart, and it's
still not good though.
Yeah, they got the Ember against Veno anyway, but it's a lot easier for a Veno to deal with in the side lane.
Yeah,
especially with
the long chase potential of the slows from the Veno that benefit him in the side lanes.
Plus, it's a Wyvern support. Like, this is not a great place for Seb to be. You also get limited level progression here.
The Poison Sting does not remove Ember Shield, though.
Correct, but it does do damage through it.
And this Burrow Strike
the Burrow Strike does 85 damage to the 80 damage soak.
Hurts. Well, it's already gone for Seb, and this could be a tough one for him. We'll see how it ends up working. The lane swap already. Big Day No Tail heading mid, and S4 is going to go bottom.
So they just swapped it as well. Lycan goes bottom, PL... did he TP? No, they didn't TP. They just swapped up. So they can always TP back, but remember, if you TP first, then the other team can counter with it. So
always going to be one step behind. No Tail going to try his best here, but we'll see if he's able to make it work. A lot of regen at the very least, and actually TPing in the Lycan now. So gonna swap it again, I guess. No Tail swapping. See you later.
I think that TP by Mugi was actually really bad.
Yeah, what was he doing? Why did he TP?
I think he should have waited for that TP. Let the Lycan walk all the way back.
What?
That was a really bad TP, actually.
Yeah, now they're just losing this lane middle.
I've done that before. You're like, wait, what?
S4 is happy.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
I was very
Midge
impatient.
Abandoned.
I was very impatient. Now Mugi has to walk all the way back.
Seb, meanwhile, over here, rooted for the moment, so Kaka can't find the Burrow Strike. This could be your first blood.
First blood on the
Wyvern Ember about as weak in the same lane as you can possibly have.
Yeah, I'd argue I can't find much weaker, in truth. They just have such incredibly low base armor, base damage. Their skill sets aren't that strong until later
Rating
levels.
potential, kill potential, none of it's really there.
They have a free lane mid though. Like S4 got 2 waves completely denied from NEWBEE. Oh my gosh, they're just swapping back. This definitely benefits OG though, because they have the XP advantage thanks to the way the waves are pressuring. So bottom and mid are pushing at all times, have been for the last minute. So they're just losing more and more XP as they continue to try and swap lanes.
I love how Mugi actually went for, or not Mugi, sorry, as Triple C went for boots on the Lycan because he knows he's running from lane to lane. You don't see most Lycans get boots at all, let alone first item.
Apparently there's a bug going on. Should be starting up soon again. Couple interesting things here. Because they were able to put so much pressure on, they're able to get a pull on NEWBEE to the side camp, which now OG is going to come and try and contest again. It's a bug. I wonder what the bug is going. But you talk about this early movement into the favor of NEWBEE, or other OG because of it. Do you feel like that's super significant for the way that this keeps on going here? Like, how in control are they of this sort of dual lanes? Because NEWBEE is moving so much.
I feel like the lane swapping will benefit the heroes that don't rely on the start.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
Yeah, looking at XP, I think Sven actually is hurting him. The problem I have is that, as we talked about Sven, like, what does he want most of all, BSJ?
Space to farm?
Free lane.
Yeah.
And this is the complete opposite, where he's just sort of forced to run back and forth. And yeah, it hurts the Lycan, it hurts the PL a little bit, but you don't really care because Sven's timing is so much more item dependent.
And specific, like it has to hit it.
Because the longer it takes Sven to come online, the faster the Veno's going to be in a position to just deny him certain areas of the map. If it hits 12-15 minutes, he hasn't done any Ancients. All of a sudden, Veno can just push mid, place a ward on both high grounds, and what's a Sven to do? You don't have a blink, you can't kill this Venomancer, and Veno also is going to shut down... Like, Veno shuts down the 2 cores of OG running back and forth, and he's outlaning the one that can deal with him in the Ember.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that great. I mean, is Veno the type of hero that can sort of carry them in this game?
Oh, for sure.
Through the mid game, yes.
Look at his talents.
Through the mid game, I believe he can carry them. They do need the PL Lycan to come online eventually, but we've seen that most of these mid games are carried by the hero that just shoves your lanes into your towers, forces you to deal with them, and that's what Veno does. And Veno is more so a 3 because of that, because he's a hero that will help you in the mid game, but will not win you the game later on. But like later on, he's still an R. Like he just pushes R. His talents at the level 20 and 25 for his ultimate are pretty nuts. His ultimate
7
becomes,
seconds longer.
25 seconds. If you have an Ags, it's effectively 2,750 damage. Ooh. And that is a lot.
Like, that's so much damage.
And I don't know if you know how much 800 AoE is on Poison Nova. That's pretty much the entire
screen. To that
screen.
point, who's buying a pipe on OG? Which the Venomancer, even though you have PL Lycan, you need a pipe to win this game.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Night Stalker, but that doesn't feel good.
Yeah. You also want a Crimson Guard, and that's like one of the main issues I have with OG's draft is that they don't have the passive buyer, as the Russians would say. They don't have the hero that buys the team fight items.
All right, so apparently there's a bug and it's ready. Use it.
Let's use it.
What bug?
The bug?
Well, that would be, I'm just saying, if I were playing and there was some, I'd be tilted.
Bottom lane, possibly in trouble on
Radiant's
Faith.
bottom tower is under
See if you can
attack.
figure out what the bug is first. Faith? You get punched a couple of times here. I think it has to do with Bat Riders.
No, it's something on Newbee's Heroes, I think.
Yeah, it seemed like OG was a little upset about it.
Why don't you
Radiant's
just
top
check on
tower
Twitch chat
is
again,
under attack.
BSJ? I know you love it. I'm sure they have the answer.
I'm looking. PL third. Oh, PL's third skill. They still have that bug. That's so stupid. If it's the same one that I know about, it's that you can turn your aura off or your passive off. You can A-click an enemy unit and then turn it back on and A-click your own unit and rush all the way back to it, no matter where it is on the map. So you can basically escape any gank if you use it properly. I thought they fixed that.
Well,
it's a free escape mechanism from any gank if you know how to use it.
I'm sure that he does, based on the conversation.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on PL, see if he uses it.
all right.
I mean, if it's in the game, technically there's nothing that they can do to stop him from using it.
Always an interesting thing and tough to come up with admin decisions, but Kaka, they're here as well with KP.
Nighttime mid as well. Just hit Jarek's there as well.
You want to find something? Oh, 5 stack Faith. He is super dead. And SC will not be able to find a kill there onto S4 in return.
Yeah, eventually the lanes will settle down, and they're apparently winning that matchup on the OG side because they are the Lycan against the Batrider and the Sven against the PL.
Yep. And again, if OG like stays ahead of this game, they're in a pretty good position. I just fear for them if it gets to like 30+ minutes and they aren't super ahead on their Sven. The Ember, though, I
Radiant's
don't know.
middle
Like,
tower
at the end of the day,
is
Sven
under
always
attack.
has to kill buildings. I guess it's the Ember that matters the most, in truth, because he's the one that is essentially uncountered in this game. And theoretically, Matt actually should not die at all in this game. So,
if he knows how to dodge glimpse, which I assume he does, he should never die.
Gold remains.
We're already seeing the beginning of some of the ward spam.
I don't know, where's
though.
he leaving his lane?
We do have the bounty runes starting to be picked up as well. Obviously, Night Stalker, one of the better heroes at securing them, considering it's around the time when it hits night, when you get the first round of them. S4 stealing away some of these as well, and SC in the area, so they're able to kind of zone the Lycan back a little bit here.
Yeah, but they're doing it.
SC is
How unbelievably unprofessional. All chatting in a professional game.
unbelievable.
That's worse than wearing a t-shirt on panel.
Well said.
Can't imagine who you're talking about there.
I don't know what's going on over here, but S4 is just being a little
Bottom lane.
punk to him. Going for this? All right. PL, has he got the bug? And it looks like jumped away. Oh, able to get out of there for the moment. He does have a salve and he's trying to run, but not.
The bug's pretty hard to use when you're in the middle of things like that. I will say I'm pretty surprised about the PL skill build. Usually you like to max your top lane. Never mind, no time to chat about the PL. We see Seth getting gone on. His Ember Shield is expired. They should get him with this kinetic field, but he's safe with the Cold Embrace for now.
Not bad at all. Kaka gets the road strike through, still very low. He gets the kill there, and S4 going to be able to clean up as well. And take down KP and Toe. So 2 for 1, but that one is the Ember.
Yeah, look at that though, if you're OG.
I just wanted to comment on the PL build. Usually you like to max your passive when you can trade with the opponent laner, and Sven is not one of those heroes that you can really trade with. I'm surprised that he didn't go for the max lance this game.
Radiant's top
I
tower
think a
is under
3-point lance,
attack.
perhaps.
Yeah,
2-1-2.
usually, yeah, at least 2 points in the lance, just because you cannot afford to Phantom Rush a Sven and feel good about it.
And No-Tail had an opportunity to stack camps, and he didn't. I'm very disappointed. He just shrine for free.
Pride is a penny earned.
The fact that Sven is kind of a CS chart is pretty good for OG, I think. He does have to deal with the Venomancer later, though.
But he's just good in this game, right? And I look at OG's lineup, and theoretically, like they will have a lot of sustain, and they're also the only team with real save. So as much as I like the Veno, I thought that he would do a bit better in this top lane. Instead, the Ember's actually ahead. All of OG's cores are ahead, and they, like, if they have the lead, their draft is so much better to execute.
Yeah.
You have an Ember and a Bat that can just be all around the map, capitalizing on the super big vision advantage you get from a Night Stalker. And in the meantime, they also have the real team fight top of the stack.
And this is SCC's life. Yeah, this is his life. This is not what you can afford to have happen on a Lycan this early.
God.
When he doesn't have ult, you're not scared of him at all, and if you're not scared of somebody, you just run at them.
Well, he's going to keep the pressure on, but it is daytime now. Still, as you said, no ulti means no problem. Jarek's just going to have to back out now. But he waited through the nighttime at the very least, and now maybe he can go back into a lane and feel a little bit more secure with himself.
Top lane. Nothing really happening, and KP is not. KP just really isn't ahead. I think that they possibly should have done better in this lane. I think not blocking the easy camp punished them pretty hard, because as you can see, Fly CS is quite high. A lot of that is just not in the lane.
Seb again. He does have a remnant to try and get out of there, and also Hastrin, so he does manage to escape.
Steals the CS. Oh, no, he didn't. That was the... Never mind, the Veno got it still. He's actually going for a Veil on Ember, which is quite interesting. I don't feel like his lineup capitalizes on Veil quite that well, but...
you got a Bat, you got a Wyvern. I think it's alright.
That's an okay mid-game item for the tankiness against the PL Lycan.
They're just going to punch Mugi a few more times. Fate this year as well. No glimpse, though. Still only 1 point in that, opting for more in the Thunderstrike. 3 heroes in the area. There is a chance that they can maybe get a little bit fresh with No Tail, and in fact, they're going to go for the initial slow. They do have the glimpse available as well as the connect field. They turn now, trying to see if they can take down one before No Tail dies, but no such luck. Mugi gets the kill.
It's a big death. I'm surprised he's still down there.
He's just playing off-lane lanes. Sven just can't occupy lanes. He should get his levels and get out.
I mean, I think they could have made that kill happen a lot earlier. Sankin's just been playing top this whole time, but he's been getting a lot more than you would expect, I would say.
Eric's trying to run down the curry. Pops nighttime instead, and about going back mid. SC needs to be a little bit careful. Looks like he's go for it.
Yeah, I think they should just put Fly bottom like they are. Have him make sure the tower doesn't die while Sven secures farming around the Ancients. They still did not stack Ancients a single time.
Who scouts the work with just a bit too late.
Pick off there. That is what they need for sure. Killing spree for Jarek. They are going to be able to pick up both those bounty runes as well.
KP denied the one bottom. Mid lane.
They're going to die here and over towards mid. It looks like the chase forward. Can't find anybody, but Faith does die down bottom.
A lot of action suddenly.
OG just, I feel like they just have such an easier time playing this game. They don't die. Like, no one on NEWBEE can really set up kills at the moment just because of the kits on OG's lineup. Sven's the only one really susceptible to them. And as long as he does what he's doing now and just kind of chills in a safe area of the map with a Wyvern behind him, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think it was heavily predicated on this Venomancer shoving lanes in, making OG respond to him, but they're just killing him. And with that being said, Sven's a hero that needs the time to hit his timings, but if you're not pressuring his towers, he doesn't have that hard of a time of getting there. So starting down that Venomancer's early game is pretty big deal, and I like that NEWBEE's trying to rotate top because they have to enable this Venomancer. Even if they don't get the kill. They do have the drop ulti though.
Yep, gonna look for it now. Can they get into range? He's running. Oh, it's so slow though, the first strike as it connects. And they will try and take down Seb. Now the glimpse away from him. He's not gonna help out here.
Very, very cute. Otherwise, they can turn that around for counter kills. Love the vision of these guys as well. They have vision of both the cores. PL like it from the woods, just thanks to the 2 wards they have to play steep and enemy woods.
Fly's alone over here, and he runs into some trouble now. It's going to have a kinetic field, keeping him in place as well. As he lands, the trees should break, and you have eyes on him. It's going to be ulti just dropped. Get away from me! I don't want none of your shenanigans anymore. Hold embrace. Keep it alive for a strike for the kill. Almost there. But the turnaround doesn't happen. Kaka just going to have a nice shield to nowhere before he kills him. Oh, well, another remnant almost there. It's not enough. You can't take him down. Kaka won't die. TP's home as S4 finds another kill off to the side.
First item boots of travel on the Batrider.
Radiant
Really?
structures are fortified.
I mean, it makes sense for me to try to play this game, right? Just to be more skirmish heavy.
Lose Moogie as well. Jerex and No Tail.
Jerex has been all over the map this game. He's doing a great job. Even though he's 4-2, so that's great. But he's also spent so much time slowing down the Lycan. He spent like 3 minutes just kind of neutering him. And even though he's not on a typical Jerex hero, I would say, I think he's doing excellent.
I'm really not happy about this max Phantom Rush with only 1 point in Lance, because the reason that the idea behind it is that you get free harass, and you only want to do that if you're not scared of dying when you go for that harass. But that's twice now that he's used Phantom Rush to try to harass No Tail, and then he just gets stunned into Night Stalker Silence and dies. And if you can't afford to run at the enemy laner like that, maxing your Phantom Rush just actually gets you killed. And not happy to see that adjustment, or lack of adjustment, I guess.
Another big stack here for OG is No Tail is going to try and take it out. A lot of gold into his pocket. He's trying to get towards that BKB. As we do see Jerex get taken down, that's a big kill. As SC uses his first ultimate for it. To make things a little bit harder to contest is No Tail just finishes off that shrine. A ward drop down, which was definitely spotted.
Don't like that word. It's obvious Sven's there. Kaka even knew it. That's why he placed it such as he did. This is the thing about Wyvern. He's just been planting himself at these towers, and you don't want to dive him. You don't really want to pressure the lane, and he already has Arcanes, which as a 5 Wyvern, that's all you ever need.
Wyvern plays a lot like ET at this stage in the game, kind of just counter initiation for his team and defending towers, and that's exactly what OG needs in their lineup. So that's why we like the pick so much. And we thought the game would be a little bit faster paced for NEWBEE, but the fact that NEWBEE's been pretty much shut down on their steamroll early, this is so good for OG. The OG's timings it comes slower, but that's only if they're really falling behind, and that's not the case here. Sven, #1 net worth, counters PL for quite a long time. It's basically once he no longer kills PL in a blink stun, then it becomes PL favorite, but they also have the Ember to deal with this PL.
And it's also like just the armor for the rest of his team against the Lycan, against the PL, against everybody pretty much.
Like Diffusal no longer purging.
We talked about Pipe. We still haven't seen one of those anywhere near really being picked up, but Jerex with the DD now, hunting behind the tower. We still have a minute and a half until daytime as 3 heroes rotate top. I'm gonna see if they can find a pick off here. Kaka as well as KP. And their sights, and the walk forward, they go for the Sand King first. They are within mountain range of the Sentry Ward, but he still is going to come out of that one. It was dropped afterwards, and Kaka dead.
KP's not leaving. He's now leaving, TPing to his team actually at the tier 1, so they plan to fight this. At least it looks like it.
I don't think that you can though, and I love the itemization of OG, right? I love the bots on bat. If he rushes a blink, especially against the Veno, you're just in this position where
oh, he knew it. He was waiting for him. He tried to turn this back around with Seth there as well. They take him down. And that was premeditated. Really well done.
And a nice read. He knows by process of elimination, that's the only place that SCC can go.
More coming in now as well. The Veno Remnant towards Seb. Trying to take down yet another. That's still old dodge for the moment from Moogie. For a strike here to try and turn this one apart. Take down Jerex. The epicenter coming out as well. As they're starting to fall down low as they get off the Veno ulti as well. Can they manage to escape? It looks like No Tail's out. But the Ember, no such luck.
I think Moogie could have focused No Tail, possibly killing him there, but it's fine either way. That's Sven having a tough time against these heroes. He definitely needs that BKB before which he almost has, 200 gold.
Yeah. Thing is, I feel like the Veno, like when the one downside of the side lane Veno, and like I love his talents, right? Level 10, either the 8-second Gale or more likely or not, like the 90 GPM adds up real quick if you get level 10 around that 10-minute mark. But he's going to get there around like 16, and I'm not sure the game is going to go on long enough to warrant even the max efficiency out of that choice. I'm kind of scared for NEWBEE's lineup in a lot of ways because I think OG's itemized near flawlessly and they're all accelerating. All 3 of their cores have games, and that the bots on bat now he has a blink, right? So yeah, the blink's maybe 4 minutes later, 5 minutes later, but he's been so active with these bots and it's allowed him to stay on map, especially with the bottle. And that's the you can't go this like tranquil blink build anymore because if you don't like meticulously get 1 kill every 100 seconds on key targets for like your first 7 lassos, it's just not a value item anymore. The games drag on too long nowadays.
And another ancient stack there, 3 stacks of it up, and No Tail getting towards the Blink Dagger next, about a little over 1,000 gold away from it. Starting to feel like this is all coalescing into an OG.
NEWBEE is smoked up on Kaka with the blink though. So they could make something happen here, but Sven no ulti, Night Stalker no ulti, it's daytime for another 3 minutes.
I
guess 30 seconds
as well.
Ultimate. This is the time to make something happen. Wyvern's a crucial target to get. He is the save for OG.
It's so hard to jump on, like you guys were saying. Level 10 has the Bro Strike right as the tower falls. Trying to take them down with the follow-up a little bit too late. They do manage to get the sack. It's just on Clyde. Even missing Gale vision. He's going to be able to walk away. Gets the cold embrace, and Kaka's just dead.
Really?
Oh no, and now looking for more. Can they kill off this fade? They are going to use that lasso, take down the Disruptor, and from bad to worse to terrible, OJ is dominating this game.
Moogie needs to get out of here.
Oh, he's going to get him.
The Void, Moogie gets his TP broken, doesn't know where to go now. What's going on, my man?
Time for some jukes.
Needs a lot of jukes here. Does have a Diffusal Blade. The Ember jumps in, going to clear through all those illusions just about as Jarek's trying to run away. The chains are there. The Doppelganger away. Wants to get one kill, if at all possible, but the cold embrace puts the kibosh on that, and Moogie dead again.
Sven actually forced a BKB top to get out of the Lycan ulti. It's a small positive for NEWBEE, but obviously getting a little bit out of control here.
I like the BKB. Sven's one of the few heroes where BKB like really doesn't slow you down, and it's core on your hero, but it gives you 36 damage as well, and it enables him to be ready to fight at all times while still accelerating and staying on top of the game. And it's really OG in the driver's seat at the moment. Like they have all the ability to make plays around the map, and if you're NEWBEE, like that smoke play, that's their best shot, but they have to execute perfectly. They needed to have the Disruptor ult on top of the Sand King stun, but you're so scared at all times because at any moment there could be a lasso. It's Stalker pops darkness, Wyvern counter initiation, like
and look
soon
at
as
the way
Sven
they're
blink
playing too. Like everybody from NEWBEE so grouped together and constantly around the map. You've got all these other heroes from OG getting a ton out of it and stacking up the camps. You know, Ember is building towards his own boots of travel now on top of the Bat Riders. They're going to be everywhere always.
Yeah, I love the way OG's playing this as well, as you've already mentioned. And NEWBEE just says, well, if we can't outfarm you and we can't necessarily fight you, we're just going to rush. And Venoman's a pretty good hero for this type of thing, especially during the daytime against the Night Stalker. And Sven, they already know BK beat against the Lycan, so that's only going to be... actually, it's back up, but OG is looking to contest this. Roche is incredibly slow. They have Lasso, they have Sven BKB ult.
Ember doesn't have
it's
TP.
canceled. Oh, that's gonna be that bad.
The guy's looking mighty dead. Bro Strike as well onto the Wyvern, so she can't save. Can maybe get it off an ulti, but not in time, and that is 2 down for OG. So it was looking so good, it suddenly turns back around for NEWBEE.
Okay, let's stop talking positive about it.
It's just it's too greedy. You can't. That's what Venomancer gives you, and that's why this is a great 10th pick for NEWBEE, because you can control an area so well, and all the initiation from OG is blink related. Or in Night Stalker's case, he's going to fly in from the side. You need to fight NEWBEE before they can set up a box, because you can't enter the fight anymore. Like, you need the Ember to be able to go in with immediate follow-up, and otherwise they create this box, they split up, you can't get double stunned. What is your answer?
They have Blink Sven right now with BKB, but again, as you mentioned, all of these wards here makes it so hard to get that initial initiation, and on top of that, NEWBEE are doing a really good job of staying split.
They are, and they also have to cover themselves at all times with this Venomancer. Like, he provides them the space and control in the middle of your fight box, I'll call it. And if you're OG, you need to take an unexpected battle. You need to get on top of NEWBEE like right away. But the kiting potential of NEWBEE is also super high, just thanks to the Peel Diffusal plus the Veno. So if No-Tail messes up, squanders his BKB, gets drained of mana before popping it, all of a sudden OG's damage disappears.
I would like to see a Halberd out of SCCC here, actually, after the Necrobook completes. I think that'd be a great adjustment against the Sven. I think that's their only problem here right now. He's top of the net worth, and
Dire's top tower
I feel like Bat Rider does have a hard time dealing with Disruptor as the game goes on until he gets BKB. And we saw it in that last fight. He just got queued by the Disruptor, and then Kyle even said he was dead for 10 seconds before it even happened.
So OG, they showed Jarek's they're heading up towards top, and then he TP'd back to meet up with the rest of his team as Seb is pushing mid, trying to take the tier 2 tower, and they're set up to find a kill if somebody TPs for the tier 2
NEWBEE's going to force him back. They have Lycan.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And NEWBEE doesn't care where the fight is as long as they have time to set up.
This is OG needs to get back. This is way too slow, I think.
Trying to now, TPing, starting to get there, but again, Disruptor, it's so scary TPing into this, and him being able to just glimpse you away. So watching for his curse, he needed that
That's not good either. Like, that means that there's no Wyvern ult now. You're not afraid of your newbie. You're going to at least get to tier 3.
Easy peasy for them right now. Seb is trying to keep them back yet again, but the tier 3 tower down is NEWBEE incredibly happy with that.
That is so big for them. That gives you so much map control. Keep in mind, there's 2 bots heroes already on OG. You remove the shrines, all of a sudden, like, you're very limited on your ability to move around the map.
And I like that they TP the Lycan back, knowing that he just wants to get to his next item.
Are they going to go right now onto Seb?
He's the weakest hero.
They've got their eyes on him here. Burrow Strike maybe coming from Kaka. They've got him caught for the moment. Static Storm down on his BKB though, trying to take them down. Can they kill off Seb in time? They will, but Kaka might lose his life for it or support Seb. Saving his life. Burrow Strike getting out. TP, why not?
Lasso used on to the Disruptor. You already ulted. That's not the target you want. This is an Aegis PL. He's going to run out.
They're thinking about going back in. They found themselves another round of Burrow Strike. Then TP out with Kaka. They're taking down Jarrett as well. Big Day No Tail trying to kill off Ruby. He's still doing a lot of damage. That needs a doppelganger away, and they are going to be able to get him. Now looking for more. The Winter Wyvern gets the blink out, but my God.
Those are the exact sort of fights you got to avoid if you're OG, because this Sven BKB is like forced by a Disruptor ult, and all of a sudden, those Venom wards, that Poison Sting slows you through BKB, and then once it fades, you're stunned, you're PL'd, you have no mana, your ult's fading. They don't even have a Lycan for that. Like, NEWBEE just playing this game perfectly, and OG just overextending a little bit, and
look at this graph here. 6,000 gold lead. It was more so than that, just the way that they were controlling the game, and now it's feeling like it's all NEWBEE, and they're going to multi on to S4. Just want to take him down. The Purge is there from the Necro Book, and S4 trying to run. He is able to juke away from there for the moment. Seb chasing, but not finding, and in fact, it's actually going to be the PL who gets silenced. He's just down with the Burrow Strike to turn it yet again. They got him caught. Seb's going to be able to run it out if he wants to. Jarrett's starting to fall low as well, as Moogie has eyes on him. But they don't want to take this fight, apparently, as top lane, they're also going to be going for some split push action. SC is there, while they're still pressuring the bottom side. So everybody's spread out from OG. They've got Seb caught again with the Static Storm down. Back off cooldown. Moogie's on top of him, and it's Ember dead again. All the rat is going on up top.
And NEWBEE playing so well. Like, they're using their reach constantly. They have reach and poke, and that's how you have to win this game. Make Lycan draw the attention of OG across the map. In the meantime, the rest of the team find kills.
And they still need to defend against this. You can see bottom, 4 members of OG, but Lycan is still keeping that pressure on, and there's going to be the I think so. No Tail pops BKB trying to run, but guess what? They just walk away from this guy. The slow is there with the BKB wearing on. Kaka might think about chasing this one. The 4-staff 4 clips him on back, and No Tail in trouble. A great Wyvern ulti is maybe going to kill off the Venom, and that is much needed. But can they find any more? The ulti's still going from No Tail, trying to get the cleave out, but they've got him caught. They've got him kited, and No Tail cold embrace. Is it enough to keep him alive? I don't think so.
Lycan took time right starting up.
Over and over again, NEWBEE running at them and looking like they're not stopping for anything.
I mean, the hero we outlined is the one that was key for OG is Seb on that Ember, and he is suddenly in 6th in net worth, like far behind his Bat and his Sven. And
they can't use these flames at all.
No, they can't. Like the Sven, it's he was so ahead, but like now he's got the blink BKB, but no other item he purchases is going to do anything, especially if he's on in a defensive position. Like,
feels like that anchor man. No, that escalated quickly. Like, look at what happened. It's been 7 minutes, and it's about a 10,000 net worth swing.
And you hate to say it, and hate to oversimplify some things, but when I hear, I like the fact that OG decided to mix it up with their draft, something different, something maybe that's more OG-esque than other teams, but Sven is just not a good hero right now, and you're seeing it. It feels like he's messed up like twice. Yeah. And suddenly the game looks like this. And Sven's a hero that he hits his timing, and Kyle even said, like, that timing, it's specific and it doesn't last very long. And against these heroes like Venom, I love their itemization. 4 staff, like just a bunch of 4 staffs. Just kite the Sven BKB, and then he's done. Doesn't matter. You just lance him, you defuse him, blade him, you purge him with the Lycan creep, and he can't do anything in these fights.
And the damage output from OG, once again, is quite low. And NEWBEE really doesn't have those problems. When you have Venomancer, PL Diffusal, like, you never have issues. You can just poke forever. The longer the fight goes, the better. And OG, it felt like they had a couple of great moves, specifically like when No Tail countered that those mid TPs, but
Dire are
They're
scanning.
not getting free fights anymore.
And look at this. They're going to try and make something happen here, but OG a little bit off the mark there with the scan.
Bottom lane between the two supports on NEWBEE, they might find Seb here.
Oh, if they get him again. All right, now he jumps out of there. Knows that that is not great. And meanwhile, mid lane, they have found an opening here, trying to take down this Lycan. It's a good bit of damage, but is it going to be enough? Force Staff still running SC out of there. With the AC and everything else, he is far too tanky for an easy kill. The wraparound is called, and NEWBEE trying to get together with their mid lane player. Can he get out of there in time? His ulti's about to wear off, but now with KP moving in as well, they might need to get out of here. A good silence on Akaka, but now they've gone too deep, and now they're going to be punished. Jarek's Burrow struck. S4 trying to run. He does have bots, and he's going to try and escape.
Great play from SCCC there. Just cutting straight to the liquid part of the map. Those trees, just hide in them, get as far to a corner as you can, and inevitably, like, it just gives your team the angle of pursuit. They find OG's heroes before they're able to finish the kill, and you get a turnaround. I think NEWBEE's actually playing this game very well. I think OG, as you said, somewhat limited in the way their draft forces them to play the game, but I think NEWBEE has recognized their win conditions and done exactly what they had to do to win. The item builds, like KP, again, peel and sustain. That's all they have to do is survive the initial onslaught, do Ember Remnant in, the Sven Blink BKB in. If you kite the Sven's BKB, he's a worthless hero after that.
Yep, you dangle, and then you, during Sven's tangle period, which is the BKB, you
Dire's bottom
peel,
shrine is
and
under
then you
attack.
win.
Pretty much. Now oh my gosh, look at this, the peel bug.
Not seeing.
He just charged from Dire Shrine to his own shrine.
Well, while that was happening, that's going to be a Bat Rider also going down. They're going to be able to glimpse back Jarek's. And the Winter Wyvern ulti, it's on Akaka, burning him very, very low. And that is not a dead Kaka. Just on the edge of it, he lives. They also have a Spirit Vessel, so he's going to live longer through it. The tower is down. Seth trying to stop this by Bat Rider as well. Able to pull back in that Lycan, still incredibly hard to take down. But they're starting to make it happen. Is it enough? It
Takes
is.
down the racks first. Took him too long to kill him.
Not my pride.
Yeah, they didn't even have a peel for this, and Sven BKB and ulti already down. This peel's unkillable.
The Heart was farming bomb, that's why it wasn't there.
And again, no Night Stalker, but more importantly, no real damage to deal with this PL as he just turns sights onto all of them one by one, and then eventually onto the bigger task, which is these barracks. Epicenter doesn't work off, but that's fine.
Buildings, they can't kill you, just make them come to you, and they'll have to show up eventually, otherwise the buildings die, and that's what OG is exactly doing right now.
Last stuns coming out, trying to keep eyes on, but as you mentioned, Staff's always there. OG going to be controlled as No Tail tries to make the damage happen, but it is just too difficult. All of his mana burned, and the building's falling over and over again. Constant pressure. Sandkeen buys back in the game, realizes he wants to be a part of the winning celebration. The TP in, coming yet again from No Tail, but able to doppelganger away from it. Still dealing clean damage, but it's not quite enough. The Winter Wyvern ulti onto possibly an illusion itself. As No Tail pops his BKB, last throws as well. Can they finish this off? No Tail is gone. Moogie dominating streak. There is going to be a static storm down the wall. Top both of these, and Moogie not dying anytime soon. Doppelganger away again. They're going to eventually fall. They also find themselves another kill buyback from Seth. Maybe going to be able to find a couple of pick-offs here, but it is Mega Free.
Yeah, he's just running up to the lane.
And KP, consummate force, as he slows and poisons and drains the life away from these guys as SC has his eyes on the prize. Taking down the tier 4 towers. Want to kill off KP, and they want to kill off Faith, but Seb eventually going to be the one to fall, it looks like here. The last couple hits onto the Ember Spirit. Well-played calls. Soon to be GG as well.
I think NEWBEE, they just accelerated the game, right? They did that Roche that OG didn't expect. OG also gave a couple of kills away to and realistically, once the meta set up, you're never going to box them. That Roche then gives them a tier 2 mid, the tier 2 top, then OG doesn't get back to base in time, so they're then forcing a fight on their tier 3, the tier